There's nothing worse than waking up feeling fantastic and then walking into a class and realizing you forgot about the final exam, or maybe just some important project. As someone who got labeled as forgetful and absent-minded a lot as a child, this scene is all too familiar. Whether you're a student who's still working their way through college or a professional, these 5 tips are going to help you never forget a deadline again and never have that sinking gut feeling of walking into something that you're unprepared for. My very first tip, and probably the most life-changing, is the use of timers and other scheduling apps. Now, as soon as I make an appointment with someone or I know that there's an important date, I put it on the timer app on my phone or on Google Calendar so that I get reminded day of everything I need to know for that event and when that event actually is. In particular, I use this for my classes during the COVID pandemic because I'd honestly forget when classes were and all the days started to blend together. You know how it is when you're working from home all the time. So by using timers and Google Calendar, it was just a really great way to make the robot in my phone do a lot of the work that the human brain is not as good at. And it took a lot of stress off me because then I didn't miss meetings anymore. I didn't accidentally miss a class because I honestly just forgot what time the class was at or which day it currently was. The second tip that made a huge difference in my life was the use of email filters and other kinds of spam bots. So if you're someone like me who likes to read newsletters or gets unintentionally signed up for them when you sign into a new app, then you're going to have an overflowing inbox of these kinds of emails. I know it takes a couple more seconds when you do it the first time, but unsubscribing from all the emails you don't actually care about that you usually just swipe out of your inbox is a great way to save time in the future, because then you won't be thinking about that email. You won't even have to look at it for a second in the future just by unsubscribing and using email spam filters. Now, I do know a lot of really successful people who have overflowing inboxes, but someone like me who likes to keep a really small inbox, I basically use it as a secondary to-do list. Having that overflowing inbox doesn't work for me. Now, I'm going to make a video in the future about physical clutter and digital clutter and how that can affect your productivity and focus, but that's a video for another time. A tip that I've been hearing a lot recently is that it's really, really good to journal. And I agree with this. Honestly, when I'm having a bad day, journaling and just getting all my thoughts out has been super, super helpful. But it's also annoying to have to carry around a book everywhere I want to go so that I can just write my thoughts out. I found that it's a lot more simple to just use my phone, grab a notepad, and scribble down my thoughts whenever I'm feeling overwhelmed or whenever I just need to get my thoughts out on paper somewhere. This is also super, super great if you're in an in-person meeting and you're getting a lot of names from a lot of different people. Then when you run to the bathroom or you're away from those people, you can type down their names. Because people honestly don't care how you remember their names. They won't know that you wrote them down and looked at them before you saw them again. They'll just know that you did remember their names. So this is a super useful trick that I've been using for just remembering people's names or remembering facts about certain events. Now, this fourth trick works really well for students, and depending on your company, you might be able to use it too. But for having important documents on your phone or just having extra copies of them, using the CLEARSCANNER app is really, really useful. They take the text off the paper and just make it really vibrant, especially if it's a handwritten document. This video is not sponsored by ClearScanner, but if you did want to sponsor me in the future, that's always an option. Anyway, ClearScanner has been super useful while I've been a student. If you just need to copy your math homework and get it submitted somewhere, and you want to make it easily readable for your professor, ClearScanner is a great tool. Now, this last tactic is mainly for students, but could be applied to professionals too, and that's having a separate notebook, entirely separate for each subject. Now you might say this sucks because then I have to remember each notebook when I'm going to school each day and there's a larger chance that I'll forget them. It's also much, much easier for keeping your different classes' subject matter separated. It's a lot more easy when you're studying to just know that red equals math and green equals science and purple equals literature than it is to try to flip through this thing. Even if you have bookmarks that will fall out, they always fall out. It's a lot easier to just have those different notebooks. You could expand this to the professional world too with having a different folder for each client, or something similar if you can't digitize your information for each person. I hope you found this video helpful, and in the future you won't miss any deadlines, meetings, or even forget people's names. And you can avoid the dreaded "Welcome to class, everyone. Take out your Scantrons" that we all so sorely missed from our school-going days. If you have any organizational tips that I didn't include in this video, make sure to leave those down in the comments below so we can all learn from each other. Thank you so much for watching, and have a great rest of your day.